Hi! Today we'll talk about the polyester rope. We'll see its advantages, the specs. We'll see also how to choose it according to the diameter, the length, and how to manage it and carry it, and that's why we'll talk about our rope bags. Before we talk about the polyester rope, let's take one moment to look at steel cable. As you know, this is not nice to work with because first, it doesn't keep its original shape when you work with it like this. Also, all those little broken wires will hurt your hands. It will do some pigtails. It's not great to manage on a reel like that. So for us, at the beginning, it was clear, out with the steel cable. Now let's talk about the polyester rope. With our winches, we decided to work with rope instead of steel cable because it's a lot nicer to work with. First, it's heat resistance. As you know, the capstan drum produces a lot of heat, and therefore you need a rope that will resist to that. For example, you could not use a nylon rope because it would melt and it would damage either the rope and the drum, and it might be very dangerous. Also, this rope is really light. You can carry it around without any problem. It's really nice to work with because it always keeps its original shape. And also, it doesn't have much elasticity. So again, for a safety feature, it's really important because if anything would happen, it would be a lot less dangerous. Another important thing to mention is that a lot of people think that this is like a climbing rope, and it's not actually. A climbing rope is a dynamic rope because you want the rope to stretch to reduce the fall of someone. Like this one is a static rope because you don't want it to stretch, like I said earlier. So it's really important not to use a dynamic rope with our winches, but a static rope. When comes the time to buy your rope, you need to consider two things: the diameter and the rope length. For instance, if you're working with the PCW 5000, you want to go with the half-inch rope or 12 millimeters. This rope has a breaking point of 3,300 kilograms. If you're going to work with the PCW 3000, then the 10 millimeter rope or 3/8 is the rope to go with. This one has a break point of 2,200 kilos. And then there's the rope length. When you're going to choose your rope length, you have different possibilities. At Portable Winch, we offer lengths of 50 meters. So you can buy 50, 100, 150 meters, up to 300 on regular orders. If you need a longer length of rope, they're available on special orders. We even sold a 1 kilometer long rope to a customer. That was quite impressive. He was using it to pull wires along a railroad. Another thing to consider when you're going to buy your rope is the kind of ending you will want. I don't know if you know that, but when you're using a regular knot on a rope, you're losing at least half the breaking point or the breaking capacity of the rope. This is why we strongly recommend to use at least the bowline knot. Then you're going to lose only 30% of its capacity. And if you're using the double bowline knot, then you go down to 25. It's really important, especially if you're pulling in the woods, a knot is sufficient. But if you're doing lifting, for instance, then you'll want to go with a nice splice and a thimble like this. In this case, you'll keep the original break point of the rope. So for safety reason, this is the way to go for lifting. At Portable Winch, quality is really important. This is why we sat down with rope specialists to design this rope especially for our needs and requirements. It's called a double braid polyester, and the construction is quite simple actually. It's one rope on top of the other. So as you can see, you have an outside and an inside. So this rope is high quality, and we strongly suggest that you use our rope with our winches. If you bought a 50-meter rope, you're going to receive it in a plastic bag like this. If you bought a 100-meter or more, you're going to receive it on a reel. What we want to show you next is how to get the rope out of the plastic bag or the reel and insert it for the first time in your rope bag. As you can see, we have different sizes of bag according to the length and the diameter. You can find all the specs of these bags on our website to help you decide which one better suits your needs. So for this example, we'll show you how to put the 3/8 rope or 12 millimeter in your rope bag. First thing you want to do is open your plastic bag. If you're using a knife, just make sure not to cut the rope. So the next thing is that what you want to do is get the rope in the middle. Try to insert your hand in the middle of all the strands. You don't want to pull on the rope in one shot because it's all going to be tangled. So you insert your hand like this, and then you remove the back. So as you can see, my hand is in the middle like that. The next step is to remove this strand here. And then what you want to do is just lay the rope on the ground like this. Then you want to reach for the rope that comes from the middle of the rope and not the outside. So when you're going to put it in the bag, you're going to pull on it and it should never get tangled. I'll show you how. Then you just put the carabiner on your belt. You insert the end of the rope in the carabiner, and what you want to do is to push the rope in the bag like this. So if you do that, it should work fine and you'll be able to put the rope in the bag without any problems. Once in a while, just tap the rope so it gets to the bottom of the bag. So as you can see, by doing that, you'll never have any problems putting the rope in the rope bag. The great thing about this is that you can pull the rope out of the bag without any problems. It's always going to come out the same way it went in. So you can leave your bag here and walk with the rope 50 meters long and you're not going to have any problems. Once you're ready, you just push it back the same way I showed you. Put it in your carabiner, push it back in. Really fast, really simple, never any problems. So if you've chosen a length of 100 meters and more, you'll receive it on a reel like this. So what you want to do is use a piece of wood, a rake, and in this case kind of a ladder, so I put it in suspension. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the plastic pellicule without, you don't want to use a knife on that because you might cut the strands of the rope. You just tear it apart, and when you're going to pull on the rope, it's just going to unreel really easily. So you'll be able to push it in your rope bag like we seen earlier. Very simple. A nice little tip is that you can also attach the rope directly to your load and then walk with the bag. The rope will get out of the bag very easily. To conclude, it's important to choose the right rope according to what you need to do, the winch you've chosen, and the rope capacity. And then choose the right rope bag according to the chosen rope. Thank you, and see you later.